How often have you wanted to add type to a three-dimensional object? For instance, here we have this pier, and notice that there's a lot of perspective going on here. This was shot for a wide-angle lens to enhance the perspective. And what if we want to put some type on the floor here? We could mess around quite a bit with the free transform, trying to get those angles just exactly right. Or we could use this new tool, which is in CS2, called vanishing point. What we're going to do is we're going to create our type first. We're going to grab the type tool, and I'm just going to change the colors. So we've got white as the foreground color, and as you know, this little arrow there switches the foreground background colors. Or you can do exactly the same thing by hitting the X key. So what we're going to do is we're going to type, and we're going to use an Arial black, and Arial or Helvetica. Those are very common fonts. You should have those on pretty much every computer. And we're just going to type keep off. And I'm just going to click the move tool to apply that text. Notice it's very large. We need to shrink this down a little bit, so I'll just hit my free transform, which is Control T. And I'm holding Shift just to bring the size down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this. So I'm still holding down the Shift key, and I'm rotating it 45 degrees. Actually 90 degrees. And there we go, we've got this. And what we want to do is we want to apply this text to fit this particular perspective. Now I'm going to show you how easy that is. The first thing we're going to do is we're just going to choose Select All under the Select and hit All, which would be Control A or Command A on the Mac. Then you want to do Control C or Command C to copy, or we can just choose Edit, Copy. And now we've copied the type. So we're just going to hit Control D. We're just going to deselect this, and we're going to hide the type layer, choose the background, and then hit the new layer, and we're going to call this one text. So now what we've done is we've copied this text. It's in the clipboard right now, and it's ready to be pasted. Before we paste it though, we want to define our perspective. So what we're going to do is on our text layer, we're going to choose Filter, and then we're going to choose Vanishing Point. And here we go in Vanishing Point. And let me actually just get rid of this because you won't have that when you first open Vanishing Point. So the first thing you want to do is go up here, and we're going to grab this Define Plane. This tool here allows us to create a plane which is going to go in 3D space. So what we're going to do is we're going to select down here, and then we just want to follow the angle of that perspective there. And then we're just going to go across here. It's pretty hard to get the exact angle, but let's follow the wood there. We're going to follow that to there, and then finally we're going to follow the angle here. And what we're actually doing is following this angle here. You just got to look for some straight edges, and then make sure the top is flat. And then we're going to click. And that's pretty much going to define our plane. Now generally speaking, actually I could probably take this one up a little bit higher. There we go. And we can drag it out a little bit just to make it bigger. And notice when we do that, we've messed up our perspective a little bit, so we're just going to grab this and we're just going to pull it in, just this corner, until we can get this perspective here to match pretty good. There we go. And we'll go out a little bit more. Takes a little bit of practice just to get this right. And that's looking about right. Generally speaking, this particular grid here will turn blue when the perspective is right, but in this case the perspective has been exaggerated a lot and it's not really detecting it. What we want to do now is we want to paste our type in. So we're going to hit Control V or Command V on Mac, and we're snapping in our type. There it is, pasted there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to click, and then we're going to drag it. Now when we drag it over this plane, something is going to happen. Look at that. Suddenly it snaps to this three-dimensional plane and follows the perspective of our grid. So we can take it in this area here if we want there. What if we want to make it a little bigger? Well, all we do is we just grab the transform tool here, grab a corner here, and hold down the shift key to constrain it. We can drag it out to make it a little bit bigger. There we go. And now we'll just click OK. And you can see now we've got this type, which is following the actual dimensions and is following the vanishing point here of the 3D space. It doesn't quite look real because it's so solid and we've got this wood underneath. So what we need to do is just change the blending mode here to overlay, and there we have it. And just by using vanishing point, we're able to create this very believable 3D type.